Hello Divine Ones, this is Ashley. I will be covering the butterfly spirit animal. The butterfly spirit animal is a majestic creature known for transformation. So when you see the butterfly, what is the divine spirit or your spirit guides trying to inform you of? What are they trying to tell you? That you are in the process of transformation, but what stage of transformation? With this, I want to hone on the 3 phases of transformation with the butterfly. Very similar to the 3 stages of initiation. You have birth, the first initiation of transformation, transmutation. When a caterpillar is formed, they are already a butterfly. They already have all of the equipment to sprout their wings and fly and to ascend. If you were to examine a caterpillar, you will see the spots on their back. Those spots on their back are actual wings. The wings that are ready to form when they come out of the cocoon. So what the spirit is saying when you see a caterpillar is that you are already a butterfly. You are already infinite. You are already the higher form of yourself. It's just a matter of time, a matter of cycles, a matter of seasons before you transform into the butterfly in the 3D realms. Think of the butterfly as the ascended self, the 5D self and above, your higher self, your infinite self, and the caterpillar as your 3D self, the physical self. So when you see the caterpillar, know that the divine spirit is sending you encouragement. That is nothing but a matter of time to catch up to that time and point which you will transform into a butterfly, when you will step into your full development. The second phase, the cocoon. How lovely is it to watch a caterpillar create their own cocoon? So with this phrase, the spirit wants me to hone in on, my guides want me to hone in on the development and the building process of the cocoon. So the cocoon represents the mind. So when you see a cocoon, your spirit guides are telling you to go within, the Hermit card. So another way of how to explain this for those that are familiar with tarot, I am currently working on a Bible, tarot, and alchemy series. So the 3 phases of initiation, the caterpillar, the cocoon, and the butterfly, very similar to the fool, the hermit, and the magician. The first phase, the caterpillar, the fool, going about life on the 3D plane, aka the caterpillar moving about on the belly, moving about on the stomach, very basic understanding of things, very limited in the viewpoint in which the caterpillar can see. The caterpillar is therefore called in a season to find a tree, to find a leaf, to find a certain point, a certain location to build their cocoon. The hermit, the cocoon, the mind, your spirit guides are prompting you to go within, to go into yourself. Hermit mode. Hermit is short for hermetics. So we're talking about the mental alchemy and spiritual alchemy to transform into the butterfly. So how do you go from a caterpillar going on your belly, moving throughout life very slowly, to a master that has wings, that can fly, that can ascend to new heights, There's a bridgeway. That bridgeway is the cocoon, the hermit going within, seeking a higher source. The third phase of initiation, the butterfly, the ascended master, the magician, one that has learned how to alchemize the physical circumstance. Once again, for those that are familiar with tarot, the magician, as above, so below, as within, so without. They have 4 elements laid before them. The 5th also the ethers. They're able to master all of the 3D circumstance to ascend to a new height. So with the butterfly, the wings, still a caterpillar if you notice the middle section. However, they have sprouted their wings, the wings that have been there all along, awaiting for that moment, that pinnacle of time in which they can sprout their wings. Have you ever seen a sad butterfly? No. They are so joyful and so present in the moment. The one thing about the butterfly's wings, they're symmetrical, they're identical. This reminds me of the left brain and right brain, and the middle section, the synapses that divides the two, but also join the two. For those that are divine partners, twin flames, the masculine, the feminine, and the union, the butterfly represents the union, the unification of the left brain, right brain, the unification of the male and the female, coming into divine union to form the whole butterfly. The number that is associated with butterflies mostly is 8. The perfect symmetrics from one side to the next, and the infinite flow of information with the 3 stages of transformation and transmutation. Most of the butterfly's life is spent as a caterpillar, spent in the lower realms, the lower faculties of the mind. However, after going through the hermit mode and transforming into the butterfly, breaking out of their own cocoon, breaking out of their own shell, their own box that they have put themselves into, their lifespan is shortened. But however, the things that they have seen in that short span of time as a ascended master, as a butterfly, is well worth the build-up, is well worth and outweighs the amount of time that they have previous lived. So think about this in your own life. You have spent majority of your life in the lower faculties of your consciousness, on your belly, if you will, meandering throughout your 3D experience, throughout life, throughout relationships. Then you go within, and now it's time to flourish. The later is better and greater than the previous. Remember that butterflies not only represent transformation and ascension, but it also represents a new change of life, a new life altogether. Really, it's like 3 lives within one. Another thing that I find very fascinating about the caterpillar transforming into the butterfly is the metamorphosis process. So after the caterpillar has built their cocoon, inside of the cocoon, they melt down into like a goo, into a mush, if you will. And through that mush, that they rebuild themselves, they reform themselves. This would be representation of the ego death. Another number associated with the butterfly is 66. Even the number 666. So let me explain that before you click off of this video / podcast, that the number 666 is the number of man, humans, 3D, matter. And through the ascension process that we're able to transcend matter, the physicality, and align with our higher faculties of ourselves, our higher self, which is the other number of 6. So you have number 6, the human, the physical, the transformation of number 6, and then the higher number of number 6, which is the spirit man. So number 66 better represents the number for the butterfly, as you have one side, one existence, and the physical and the lower faculties of the mind and consciousness. And then you transform to the higher number 6, the spirit man, the higher self, the overseer. But together they form yourself. With the number 666, we are also referring to the Trinity. And so the Trinity, the mental, the physical, and the spiritual, pairing together, the 3 phases of oneself. But if you do not feel comfortable with the number 666, just resonate with the number 606 or 66. Now, the coloring of the butterfly may have significance for the individual. We can get into the colors and the symbology of colors. However, most butterflies carry the same energy. There are a few butterflies that have different meanings. Black butterflies. Black butterflies are referring to the shadow aspects of ourselves and accepting the shadow aspects of ourselves, to take a second look at the shadow self. It also represents programmable matter. White butterflies represent the transcendence, represents the higher faculties of the consciousness. It also represents the Holy Spirit, the Christos energy, and promises being fulfilled through ascension. With the white butterfly, the spirit is prompting you to take matters into your own hands, that you have the power and the control over your destiny and to fulfill your soul contract. Purple butterflies are mental alchemy and the crowning process and the fulfillment of the mental alchemy. It's aligning yourself with the magician energy, the final phase of transformation, of initiation. All butterflies represent not just the 3 phases of transformation and initiation, but regeneration, rebirth, transformation. Yes, we know this, but it also represents going back through life again with that infinite, that number 8. So being rebirthed, baptized, if you will, the death, burial, and resurrection. If you really look at that statement, death, burial, and resurrection, death being the first stage of initiation, the caterpillar, burial, the cocoon, and resurrection, the butterfly. I believe this is all that my guides have for the collective regarding butterflies. If you're interested in a spirit animal reading, those links will be down below. You can review other spirit animals in our spirit animal playlist. Once again, this is Ashley H.A. Williams for Fueling the Flame podcast, a sector of FD 1111 Ministries. Okay, you guys, be blessed. Peace. I hope that you will consider joining the family here. We are an eclectic group. We cover a wide variety of information ranging from angelology to tarot to biblical text and decoding. So if you are into that type of stuff and occult knowledge, then hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you can receive notifications. For those that have given the 613 higher wisdom, higher knowledge, energetic exchange, also known as a donation, thank you guys very much for that. That is very much appreciated. If you're interested in giving on a more continual basis, you can find our Patreon link down below, As a token of our appreciation, you will receive free monthly personal readings, as well as the other ascendant information that we have listed over there. You can visit our website at www.fd11-11ministries.org.